I'm going to discuss now something called divisional charts. The word for it in Sanskrit is Varga, Varga. You can also hear people say, I think I've heard people say harmonic charts as well. Well, these charts are, uh, they're all sort of taken from your birth chart, your natal chart. And basically it's a focus, it's like zooming in on one of your houses, one section of your life, and really seeing it properly. And the most important divisional chart is your D9 or the Navamsa. This is the ninth harmonic chart, and basically you can see, like, sometimes you see somebody and they have got like an exalted Mars. But when you actually, and they just don't seem to be getting fruits of that planet. And the reason why is because in the D9, that planet, that Mars, is actually in Cancer, is debilitated. So it's not as strong as you think. So on the surface, strong, but actually it's not giving any, real fruits. So this is how you check. You always check every chart that you look at. You always look at the D9. I mean, one of my really good teachers always says, like, the D1 or the natal chart is your tree, but the fruits of that tree is the D9, the Navamsa. And the Navamsa is used for everything, as I said, particularly for your spiritual path and for marriage. But you can see other things, like you can check your career and things like that in there as well. But if somebody was to come to me for a reading about a job, a career, what I would do, I would look at obviously their D1 natal chart. I would also look at D9, because just to see, make sure, are the planets that strong? Are they going to get the, full sort of fruit of that section of their life? But then if it was for career, I always look at D10. D10 is your karma in this lifetime. It's your chart of your career. So say, for example, you come to me and I looked at your D1, D9 and D10. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to look at your planetary or mahadashas and subdashas as well. So I'll look at Vimshottari and other sort of like dashas, dasha systems, and see if things get activated. So if you say, for example, you are running a Jupiter dasha or mahadasha, and in your so what I can do, I can start kind of like reading your D9 and D1 and D10, all of them. I can make Jupiter then the actual ascendant and read the chart from there. So I would obviously I will read it from your own ascendant and the moon anyway, but I can now, because you're in the Jupiter period, I would make Jupiter like your ascendant and start reading your chart from Jupiter. I'll do that to the D1, D9 and D10. And you can bet your bottom dollar, if Jupiter is the actual ascendant in your D10, yes, you are going to get the job, because that will, you going into your Jupiter period will activate that, and that Varga or divisional chart, and bingo, it will happen. Absolutely. Particularly if you're, say, in Jupiter period and you're the sub period to that, say for example, is Saturn, for example. So if Saturn and Jupiter are either in conjunction or aspecting each other in the D10, then yeah, that's absolutely, that is the part of the 16 year of Jupiter, which is going to be strongest for your career in your divisional chart D10. So this is how you work this. So there are so many of them. And I think obviously this is where time is an essence of this. So literally, because there is like the D60, it just changes, the ascendant changes every 2 minutes. So even 30 seconds can make a difference. So when people don't really know their time of birth, they are not really getting the proper sort of like reading, if you like. But yeah, so definitely D9, D10 are very important. And also D7 is very important because that is actually all to do. So D9 will be it's all to do with your 7th house. D10 is about your 10th house. And D7 is about your 5th house. So if you want to look for romance and children, you always focus on the D7 as well. And there's a D11, which is about gains. There's D4 about gaining a home. And D2 about your finances and wealth, things like that. So they're all different types of Varga charts. But I would definitely say that you want to always look at the D1, your natal chart, and definitely D9, because with D9 you can pretty much read every aspect of your life for sure. Right, I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thank you.